Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, an episode focused on Ripple and XRP, as I think they've got enough news today to fill an entire episode. So if you guys are enjoying the Daily Crypto News, make sure you support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing, because I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and with a little bit of help, I think it would be possible. First of all, Ripple XRP just signaled sell, and it's vulnerable to substantial correction. Now, we always just go over the little tiny bits at the start here, just for some perspective of what people are talking about considering the price, and I usually don't find it worth it to check the article too far, but let's quickly go over the start here. Ripple is struggling to clear the 2025 area and 2050 resistance levels against the US dollar. XRP price is currently correcting lower, and it could extend its decline towards 1920 and 1880. Ripple price is showing a few bearish signs below the 2025 resistance against the US dollar, and it seems like the bulls are struggling to clear the 2025 and 2050 resistance. There was a break below a key contracting triangle with support near 20 cents on the hourly of XRP to USD, and the pair could continue to decline towards 1920 support or the 1880. So basically, pretty stupid if you ask me. Pretty stupid again. He's just kind of stating, all right, we can go down to 1920, and if we go below that, we might go to 1880, which might hold. But I think these prices he's talking about are so micro, they're so small, short term, and so close still that I don't think many holders care too much about it, because I don't recommend using this as trading advice. And also, even if it were to go to 19.2 cents, do you really care? XRP price targets plus or $24 plus as XRP liquidity index hits new all-time high of 23.8 million. So liquidity index, of course, is what we talk about almost once a week or so, just to update you guys with what type of records they're breaking. And yes, they're breaking record after record after record in terms of this liquidity index now. XRP is in the green, trading at 19 cents, and traders are expecting further growth. Meanwhile, XRP liquidity in MoneyGram's largest ODL corridor has just reached a new all-time high. Now, the cool part about it is they were actually deteriorating for a little while, and right now they're quite back up there in terms of liquidity index. And now, almost every day, they're making a new all-time high. The content of this article, I guess the most important part is this right here: expecting target 24 cents. Crypto trader Prodixter from TradingView has shared a chart where he shows the path the XRP price is expected to take in the long term. The target is 24 cents plus. Expecting chart, XRP about to break out, 24 cents plus as the target. New chart study, XRP looks good at the moment as enter, and expecting soon more high target. Expecting target 24 cents plus at long term, and a confirmed breakout might happen. Trader Alex Clay, in his forecast, said that the XRP price is now testing the strong resistance at 20 cents. If it comes out, if the outcome is bullish, so we close above 20 cents, he said, then the asset will continue growing. And we already completed one target after price reached our first buy zone. Now price testing the strong resistance, and if there's a confirmed breakout, we can take a long-term position. He actually says a long position, which means a buy, right? Okay, so the points he's making, which is a valid one, is 20 cents is a pretty big resistance area. Why is that? Well, we have seen, at least I have personally seen, and actually we have all seen, that very round numbers like 20 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, a dollar are all ridiculously psychologically appealing. And a lot of people would sell and buy at those exact points, which is also why there's most likely a lot of orders going in exactly right there. And you might be wondering, like, but Dusty, how can it be that it goes up a little bit above there each time, or what happens? Well, sometimes there's a couple of things that could happen. Sometimes people put large buy orders, which just instantly pop over it, but still there's too many people who are selling at that point, and thus it goes below again. The other one is that there's Not as much on this specific exchange at 20 cents specifically, but just a little bit above there. For example, here at 20, 20, 27, for example, 207 or anything like that. There's where one guy got a ton of big orders. Could also be, so it goes a little bit above 20 cents, then goes back down. Or people have just, spread around this little 20 cents marker, not all on the 20 cents exactly, but just very, very close to it. Um, and thus sometimes it might be going over it. But that's why people are saying as well, we need to really close above 20 cents to really show that it is supported and really show that people are willing to buy a lot of XRP still at 20 cents. Because often it's also the way of like, all right, it goes above 20 cents, but there's not really any buyers at this point anymore. So the price deteriorates again. And the whole cycle happens quite often, as we just see here again. It's just these moves are not valid in my personal opinion, right? We're still below 20 cents right as we speak, if this is exactly the 20 cent line, and we're just waiting for a little bit of a stronger move, in my opinion, to really get into it and take yourself a long position. Or I guess you could also be like, all right, it got one candle above there. If it gets another green candle afterwards, really above 20 cents, I'm gonna enter and then have your stop loss a little bit below 20 cents, for example. And your first take profit here at a target and second take profit or something like that could also work. Price analysis, April 8th, Bitcoin, Ethereum, yada yada, tons of coins and tons of different talks. I think the most important coins to focus on right now are actually Bitcoin Cash and, of course, for the video, XRP. So the reason I think Bitcoin Cash is quite important is because this might show us a little bit of what is going to happen to Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptos in the near future, because they just got themselves their halving, and for Bitcoin it is to be coming relatively soon. Now, Bitcoin Cash actually did a lot better than people expected it to do over the last couple of days, and I guess that shows that there's also a chance Bitcoin is just going to be doing extremely fine during its halving, or really that there's not going to be that much of a change. But it's just a little bit of a thought that we get now because we've seen this. There's no certainties whatsoever. And for XRP, it's actually, if you look at the chart, it's XP to USD. It's basically completely following what Bitcoin does, and thus I actually don't think it's even worth it to get too far into detail on XRP specifics. If you want to know what XRP is most likely going to do, just check Bitcoin. And that's why I kind of skipped it in the beginning to just give you guys some more of a thought on it all. Really, guys, it's all in Bitcoin. If you want to know what's happening, check it out. Don't go for the rest of the coins because macro moves almost always start in here. Bitcoin is facing resistance at the 50-day SMA. This shows that the bears are not willing to give up without a fight. However, if the bulls can keep the price above the 20-day EMA for the next few days, it will signal strength. A strong rebound of the 20-day EMA at 6,782 will indicate aggressive buying on dips, and this will increase the possibility of a breakout of the 50 SMA, which is at 7,413. And the first target to watch on the upside is 8K. We anticipate the bears to again mount a stiff resistance at 8K. However, if this level is also scaled, they can rally to 9K, and our bullish view will be negated if the Bitcoin USD pair turns down from the current levels and plummets down below the 20-day EMA. Such a move will be the first sign that the relief rally has weakened. For now, the long positions can be protected with a stop loss of $5,600, which is actually a really loose one. I actually think that's still quite a risky move right there, because if I was personally taking on this quote-unquote call, I would probably work with a little bit of a tighter stop loss. But I guess because he's trying to fetch some more info on the supports, right? He's trying to be like, all right, this is one of the major supports. We wanted to be below that. But I guess even that doesn't work out too well, as it's still a major difference. Or maybe another historical support lies just a little bit below there. On the right, though, what it's looking like is that 5,600, or I guess like 5,800 or so, is not that important of a figure historically. Just the last couple of days, but it could be. It could definitely be so. Well, yeah, you can do it. I think it's a little bit of a risk, but hey. The stops can be raised to 6,500 after the bulls propel the pair above 7,500. So basically, if you've kind of gotten a confirmation of the move, then move your stop loss up a little bit, because then, of course, you're taking less risk. And yeah, it's just a better idea to do that. That's a good recommendation actually. 160 million XP moved by former Ripple CEO, Binance, and anonymous investors. This type of stuff also always, or not always, just sometimes annoys me as well, because we're making it look like these are crazy things that are going on, but they're always moving, always, always, always. Ripple people are always going to be selling. Like for example, the what's the guy's name? Jet McCaleb. He's always a part of the daily trading volume, and thus going over how much money is moved is not important because they got a contract, right? They got an agreement with the judge that he can sell X amount each day, and he'll be doing that for the next 7 or so years. I don't even know how many, and thus don't worry too much about it. It's the way it's arranged. Nothing's going to change. Even if he transacts 100 million XRP, he's not going to be selling any cent more or less right now. So keep that in the back of your head. Steady price rise brings XRP back to almost pre-crash levels. So yeah, that's a little bit of an observation of what's going on. Price have actually been doing quite good over the last couple of days, really getting us back to a level that we've enjoyed at the beginning of the year before we saw the major rise. And thus some are of course wondering, like, is this a repetition of earlier moves and whatnot? Are we going to be going into this pattern again? I saw a couple of people state some things like that. Could also be that we're going to go into a lot of sideways movement now because we've reached this zone again. Calm before the storm for Bitcoin, and of course in that way also for XRP. Bitcoin is trading sideways as we expected it to. This may go on for a while as it did the last time before the decline kicked in. This time it is expected to be a lot more devastating as the bearish pennant that we see on the daily chart for Bitcoin to US dollars is a lot bigger compared to the previous one. The recent bullishness in the stock market was a misleading move, same as the one we saw just before the previous downtrend started. This week might end up being inconsequent with the S&P doing nothing out of the ordinary. Well, I guess we're going to be seeing on that one, guys. It's really, I think, going to rely quite heavily on what people are going to be doing because of the halving. You know, if people act really, really appropriately to the halving, we might see something bloom up in the crypto space. People act really irrationally, we might see something devastating, or on the contrary, you know, something really, really positive happen. A lot of crazy stuff is on the horizon, but I think the halving is the most important event for right now. Ripple, XRP to BTC, extends recent gains against Bitcoin, charted today, April 9th, 2020. Well, not too much in this article. They they baited me a little bit. I was like, hey, did I miss out on some really cool info? But no, it's just the smallest analysis on exactly how XRP moved against Bitcoin. But I think it's easy to see. Just go, I think, to CoinMarketCap, and then there's just a way to, or even on this one, I believe there's a way at the top. One of these buttons, maybe customize. If you press customize, then you could press view in Bitcoin or something like that. And you can actually see how coins are performing against Bitcoin. Right now, XRP is doing like minus 0.3%, ish against Bitcoin. But if you want to see it for all the coins, just press customize and then like the normal market cap in dollars or something. It will say you have to just change to Bitcoin, or I guess maybe XRP is also a possibility. Ripple just posted on Twitter, families shouldn't have to wait to receive payments from overseas. By making new connections and expanding remittance capabilities, RippleNet customers like Azimo and SCB Thailand are changing the status quo. That's pretty damn good, if you ask me. Gotta be honest with you guys. No, but really, it looks amazing. What they're making it look like all the time is like, nobody should be without these payments. We're going to be helping everybody. And just look at these two examples that they give right there. They've gotten some amazing customers. They're getting more and more customers on their hook. And actually, one of the interesting parts I heard the last couple of days was, for example, this from Kevin Cage. He says, JPM, Bank of America, Amex, all reference RTP, bidirectional messaging, clearing/settlement for U.S. domestic payment rails. Domestic rails improve first. Next is international, which needs something open sourced. And then you can see a little bit on the American Express website. Faster payment service providers move forward. The most prominent are the RTP systems from the cleaning house. There are other prominent solutions. One is PayPal's Venmo, which has gained significant traction as a P2P payment solution. Another is Ripple, which is building partnerships with bank, payment processors, and fintechs around its blockchain distributed ledger, and XP Crypto, especially for cross-border transactions. And on the Bank of America website, we already saw it before. Do businesses in real time or business in real time? US real time payments, RTP, brings visibility and 24/7 availability. First new clearing system in the US is more than 40 years, or in more than 40 years. Enhanced messaging. And then on JP Morgan, the real value of RTP, real time payments, the first new US payment system in 40 years. And thus, because they all make it look like they've gotten the same message out there, it also kind of looks like they're going to be working with exactly the same things, just because they're all kind of stating the same thing. And I think that's especially so because of Bank of America, which we know has a lot of things confirmed and knows that things are really rapidly changing in the last 40 years or after 40 years. And now that JP Morgan has almost the same message, there's a little bit of a chance, and it's really looking good for the world. Even if it was not to do anything with XRP, it's really just quite positive for the world, and I'm really liking that. And then we got Coining 203 who said, could it be Ripple? Could it be XRP? And this again talking about what I just read to you guys, the message that the system is finally changing after 40 years of being a little bit of the same thing. Guys, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button. Hopefully you all learned something new. And let me know in the comment section if you did. And also, guys, make sure you check out my second channel. No advertisements on there. And also, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to show your support for the channel.